You've been lied to. You've been told that building an AI startup requires millions in venture capital, deep software engineering teams, and months of complex coding. But that era? That era is dead. Today, solo founders and micro agencies are building autonomous AI agents, multi-step logic workflows, and production-grade micro SaaS platforms, without writing a single line of custom source code. We are talking about businesses scaling past $1 million in annual recurring revenue, verified metrics, real platforms, like VoiceDrop hitting 7 figures or FormulaBot pulling in $40,000 a month. This isn't a theoretical future. This is the zero-code AI ecosystem right now. In this documentary, we are going to tear down the exact architectural blueprints, the scaling failures you will inevitably hit at 1,000 users, and the step-by-step 48-hour launch stack that can turn your idea into a functioning, revenue-generating reality. Welcome to the new architecture of software. Let's look at the proof. In early 2023, Nadav and Robbie Frank wanted to validate an idea. Over a single weekend, they built Articly.ai using Bubble. Within 2 months, it hit $12,000 in monthly recurring revenue. But they didn't stop there. Recognizing a massive gap in AI voice cloning and direct outreach, they built VoiceDrop. The entire user interface, the customer dashboard, the campaign orchestration, all built on Bubble. To hit enterprise scale, they implemented a hybrid architecture. Bubble for the front end, AWS RDS for data storage, Lambda for heavy compute, and S3 for audio assets. Within 12 months, they bootstrapped to over $1 million in annual recurring revenue, serving 2,000 active paying customers with 99.9% uptime. Then there's MyAskAI, launched by Mike Heap and Alex Rainey. This B2B SaaS platform deploys custom AI support agents to slash ticket volumes, built in just 14 days using Bubble and direct OpenAI API calls. They validated customer demand with pre-sale experiments, keeping the team to just the 2 co-founders. Today, they have 40,000 registered users and $300,000 in recurring revenue. And if you think you need a team, look at FormulaBot. David Bressler, a solo data analyst, spent 2 to 3 weeks learning Bubble via tutorials. His tool converts natural language into complex Excel formulas. He posted it on Reddit. 10,000 upvotes later, he had an immediate traffic surge and a massive $5,000 OpenAI API bill. Within 24 hours of a product hunt launch, he made $2,400 to optimize SEO. He moved the public marketing layer to Framer, keeping Bubble for logic and Stripe for billing. The result? Over $40,000 a month in recurring revenue and 1 million registered users. These founders didn't write complex code. They engineered solutions. So, how are they doing it? The rapid evolution of foundational AI has turned software development into an orchestration task. You aren't coding, you are routing. But choosing the wrong platform will cripple your business before it starts. If you need a full-stack web application with complex logic and internal databases, Bubble remains the undisputed king. It offers complete front-end to database control and a robust API connector. But beware, Bubble uses consumption-based workload units, which can spike your costs exponentially at scale. For mobile-first applications, Flutterflow is the parallel choice. It delivers cross-platform native iOS and Android deployment, clean Dart code export, and direct Firebase integration. It requires manual architecture for complex databases, but costs just $30 to $70 a month per seat. When it comes to autonomous AI agents, specialized platforms take over. MindStudio provides unified model-agnostic access to over 200 foundational language models. It charges 0 markup on API token rates, offering visual workflow builders for $20 to $60 a month. Relevance AI focuses on deploying entire teams of autonomous B2B agents, using a credit-based model starting at $29 a month. For event-driven automation, Make and Zapier connect thousands of distinct business apps. They handle asynchronous system integration and webhooks, but they get very expensive for high-frequency loops. Finally, for internal B2B dashboards or gated customer portals, Retool and Softra are your go-to visual builders, offering fast deployment over direct SQL connections. Choose your stack wisely. Your architecture is your destiny. You have 48 hours. Let's build a production-ready AI application. The secret to avoiding vendor lock-in and operational bankruptcy is a modular visual stack. You must separate user presentation, orchestration logic, and database persistence. 1. The customer portal. Use Softra or Webflow. Softra integrates directly with external databases, letting you deploy gated customer dashboards and responsive forms without touching HTML or CSS. Native Stripe integration handles your recurring payments out of the box. At the validation stage, Softra's starter plan costs just $29 a month. Layer 2, the logic and API routing layer. Use MindStudio or Make. MindStudio will act as your orchestration engine. It receives front-end webhook events, parses variable user inputs, executes structured system prompts, and dynamically routes requests across OpenAI, Anthropic, or Google Gemini. MindStudio's individual plan, $20 a month. Layer 3, the database and authentication. Use Supabase.
Yeah.
This gives you a managed open-source PostgreSQL database with native authentication and row-level security. User states, credit balances, and token logs are stored securely. At validation, the Supabase free tier is literally $0 a month. Add roughly $20 for 2 million tokens of early beta testing, and your total baseline launch cost is exactly $69 a month. $69 to launch a scalable, secure, AI-powered. But here is the dark reality. While visual tools accelerate your launch, scaling past 1,000 active users brings brutal technical bottlenecks. You will hit the wall. First, workload unit cost surges. On platforms like Bubble, unoptimized database architectures like client-side data filtering or repetitive polling loops will cause your compute consumption to scale non-linearly. Builders often see hosting costs unexpectedly spike 3 to 5 times, instantly eroding operational margins. The solution? Offload your database queries to external backends. Second, latency cascades and cold starts. When you chain multiple LLM API calls sequentially, latency accumulates. Serverless execution layers suffer from cold starts when initializing inactive containers. Under concurrent load, tail latency spikes. Your client HTTP request timeout. Workflows fail. User experience collapses. Third, payload size constraints and API lockouts in engines like Make and Zapier. Processing high-density JSON objects can exceed memory allocations. Sudden traffic bursts will trigger HTTP 429 rate limit errors from LLM providers. Without programmed exponential backoff logic or multi-provider fallback routing, your platform goes down. Fourth, context window expansion errors. Inexperienced builders resend entire unsummarized conversation histories back to the LLM on every single turn. This inflates token consumption exponentially and leads to model hallucinations or server crashes. Let's look at the economics at scale. Say $10,000 in monthly recurring revenue with 400 active subscribers. Your Softtree Professional tier hits $149, MindStudio Pro jumps to $60, Supabase Pro with PG Bouncer connection pooling is $25. But the real cost, token overhead, assuming an average payload of 1,000 input and 500 output tokens, plus dynamic multi-step verification, your token cost will rocket to around $1,800 a month. Your total infrastructure expenditure at scale is $2,034 a month. That leaves you with $7,966 in gross profit, an astonishing 79.66% gross margin. If you architect it. Here are the counterintuitive truths of the zero-code AI market. Distribution velocity consistently outweighs software complexity. Founders mistakenly believe that proprietary code creates a sustainable moat. It doesn't. Because visual platforms have commoditized software creation, competitors can replicate your interface in days. Your long-term defensibility depends entirely on audience ownership, distribution speed, and domain-specific marketing. FormulaBot won because of viral community engagement and programmatic SEO, not secret prompt logic. Truth number 2, model-agnostic abstraction is your shield. Relying on a single LLM exposes you to API volatility and price hikes. You must use abstraction layers to route tasks dynamically across multiple models based on cost and complexity. Keep the margins wide. Truth number 3, hybrid architecture unlocks enterprise scalability. You don't have to abandon visual tools, maintain your visual builders for customer-facing dashboards, but connect background processing and vector searches to serverless code microservices like AWS Lambda. The tools are here, the blueprints are documented, the infrastructure costs less than your monthly coffee budget. The only variable left in the equation is you. What will you build in the next 48 hours? Drop your project ideas in the comments below. Hit subscribe for more deep dive architectural breakdowns and start building. The clock starts now.